Guys, first thing I want to share with you is the coupon code Santos. That gives you 25% off of the anxiety course. So I want you to use that because there is a limit to it. And I'm not going to tell you what the limit is, but know that there's a limit to the amount of individuals that can use that code. So I want you to hop on it as soon as you get a chance. Go to the link below. You'll see where it says that link to the anxiety course. You're able to go on there. Once it asks for your coupon, put in Santos, Santos. And what I wanted to do today is I want to spend some time with you, go a little bit more into the course. There's been so many students that have reached beautiful transformations in their life. I had one individual all the way from Texas reached out, sent me an email, and they were like, "Hey, I really like that the course is just black and white and right to the point." And that really stuck out to me because I know someone that lives with anxiety. I certainly get that sometimes we have like our own thumbprint of it, if you will. At times we focus a lot on the future. What's going to happen tomorrow? What's going to happen a year from now? Is all the work that I'm doing going to get me to where I want to be at? So our mindset may be on that, future. And then at other times, we may focus on the past. Something that we didn't heal from struggle, some trauma that we went through, some difficulty that, we navigated through, and we're here, right, in the present day, yet it continues to live. And what this course does is it gives you the coping skills, right? Because we all know that we're going to have those moments. That's just part of being a human, right? We are going to have moments where we feel worried, and we're going to have moments where we feel really grounded and stable. And during those moments that we're worried, during those moments that we feel anxious, and our hands start to shake, they start to tremble, we feel that nausea. And I know for my daughter, she's 7, and for her, it's sometimes before we do like a certain event. It was her first day at camp for gymnastics, and she goes, "Daddy, my stomach's hurting." And what's happening there is, right, we know that her stomach is not hurting because of food intake. We know that her stomach is hurting because of she's nervous. And that nervousness comes because of this new experience. And she's never been to this location. She doesn't know what it's going to be like. And her body is protecting her, if you will. So, there I connected with her. And I shared with her very much of what's in the course. The course that supports you, the course that is there for you, so that, when you're going through those symptoms, if it's like my daughter where you're going through some of that, stomach ache, or if it's, for you, if it's over here, sometimes for individuals, it's around the neck region, where they'll feel this stress and tension, almost like you did a workout, but you're like, I didn't do a workout. and you feel it, you feel the soreness. You even go to bed and you move around and you're restless because those areas are just really tight. And again, you didn't exercise, but that's what that worry, that anxiety does. It impacts, our mind, it impacts our body, and then we see those symptoms. So going through the course allows you to connect those dots, to be able to go, okay, that's why I'm feeling the tension here. That's why my stomach hurts at times, or that's why I'm in certain situations like confrontation, and I get a little bit antsy. I get a little bit anxious. I don't like the confrontation, though. I got to build the skills to be able to maneuver through it, because there are many moments in life that I'm going to have to confront in order to heal, to grow, to move forward in the direction that I want to move forward in. So then the course allows you, yes, to connect those dots so that you feel grounded. And I think it also gives us validation. I had another student, can't recall the location, but they reached out, and we kind of went back and forth on email, and got into the topic or the theme of validation. They shared that they were going through these symptoms, and when they were able to go through the course and they saw that the symptoms are on there, it gave them a sense of grounding. And then I think that really sticks out. I'm not sure about you, but do you feel that, when you're going through your anxiety and you're feeling your symptoms, and then you tell somebody else, does that individual go, "Well, just don't worry about it," or "Get over it. Try not to think about it. Pretend it's not there." And you're like, "Well, if I could do that, I wouldn't be here having this conversation with you, would I?" And I get, people are trying to help. Everyone's out there, and they're trying to, be a shoulder to lean on. Yet it's important for us to say, "Hey, I'm going through this." And then you find that space of safety, the space of comfort, the space of feeling heard and feeling that you connect, and say, "Well, yeah, that makes sense. What you're going through is anxiety. That's a symptom of anxiety." So the course allows you to have that space. And then from there, once you kind of build the know-how, the education behind the what, I'm stuttering over my words here, the education behind why I'm feeling the way that I'm feeling. There we go. I love, on a side note, I love doing these videos, and I don't like to edit them. I like to just show up as me and connect here with you, as you. So kind of going back just for a moment, the course gives you the opportunity to say, okay, this is why I feel the way that I feel. And then from there, you're able to dig into, now that I'm feeling X, right? And let's say X is that stomach ache. Well, what can I do? Because that's an important part too. There's days where I may notice that I'm a little bit on edge. And it's nice to know that we can do something about it. It's nice to know that I can implement a certain coping skill. So hopefully as you're watching this video, right, and you're thinking about the coupon code, right, Santos, go on there, you get your 25% discount. As long as you're within that limit, and I put a big number for the limit, so I do want to provide that as a kindness, but certainly, jump on it, before the numbers run out, if you will, knowing that you can go through whatever symptom it may be. You could feel your heart rate just going and faster and faster. And the next thing you know, you feel like a tightness here where you can't breathe. And then the education comes in, and you're okay, I'm getting near a panic attack. So then the course provides you with, okay, this is what we do. This is how we show up, and how we, go through that process, so that as you're going through it, some of those thoughts, thoughts of, I'm going to die, they start to dissipate. And later the feelings of feeling exhausted, like you just had this 6-hour workout, that starts to dissipate as well and go down. You start to find yourself in a space of, okay, if I have this again, I feel really confident in me. I feel that I can heal myself. I can hold myself and carry myself through that experience. So I'm excited. I am. As I remember as a kid, getting anxious with tests, and that's usually where a lot of individuals that have anxiety, school is like a place where it shows up. And I remember going to like certain situations, and there's moments of confrontation, and I didn't want to jump up to it. Not because I didn't want to. It'd be things I'm very passionate about. Maybe talking about a book that I read in front of a class, and I loved the book. I was really excited about it. But I wasn't fond of the idea of getting in front of everybody. That made me nervous. That made me worried, made me insecure and doubtful. And then those were all just like little fires fueling this giant one of anxiety, all connected to confrontation. So that's a little bit of my story, and I'm sure that you have yours. I'd love to hear it. I would. Once you go in the course, we get to connect. We get to connect. I'd love to hear where do you live. I'd love to hear about your anxiety. How does this show up? Technology here. This phone just likes to jump up whenever it wants to. I would love. I'm stuttering again over my words. I would love to connect with you. So before we head off, know that there is support out there. Whether you take this course, I'd love if you would, or you choose to go in a different direction. There's support all around you. Support as far as you're working with a clinician in your community. The course, the reason that I created it, and I'm a licensed clinician here in my area. I created this course because not everyone has access to a clinician in their area, right? So sometimes we live in like really rural spots, or we can be really busy. I've had a strong amount of individuals who have taken the course who have reached out, and I like to ask why. Why did you pick the course? And they share with me that they're just really busy, or they're working parents, and I get that as a dad. My wife and I, we have 2 kids, and we're running, from camp to program to school. And if we do have to go to an appointment, like a dentist appointment or something, it's usually not always the easiest thing to get yourself to go to those things, due to timing. So a lot of the students, they love the flexibility. They love that they can go in the course. Everything's included in there. You have videos, worksheets, all of it. And then from my end as a clinician, what I have in mind and what I did in the course is I thought to myself this. I said, all right, when I work with patients in the office, what happens there? And all of that, as much as I could from there, all the ways that I show up for those that I serve in a office setting. Let me move that around a little bit. Sorry for the distraction. All of that, how I show up there in a counseling session. I thought to myself, I want to bring all of that into this course. And it was challenging, right? Because it's a whole different thing. But I was able to do it. And I pulled out, common questions that people ask for anxiety, strategies that I put in there, educational training that I went through as far as graduate school, currently going through a doctorate program. All of that information I brought in there so that, just in case you don't want to do that one-on-one track, or you want to do the one-on-one track, but you also want to couple it, like you want to bring it in together and then do the course, you're able to do that. And really, that's no different than what a lot of us do. Think about the library, like Barnes and Noble. Most of us, or now like Amazon, we get most of our things from there. Most of us, we engage in a service. So we go see a therapist, a licensed counselor or a psychologist. And then we also may hit up a bookstore and do a self-help book. So we do those things together, to give ourselves that advantage, to help us heal, recover, move forward, achieve the goals that we have lined up in our life. And this is just that. This is a resource that you have, and I would love if you would, take advantage of it, jump on it, if you feel that it connects, to who you are as a person, to where you want to be. Any questions that you have, I'd love to answer. If you're on the fence a little bit and you're like, I want to know a little bit more, let me know. I try to do lots of these videos so that you get to know me. I think it's important to get to know the person, who's going to be behind the scenes beforehand. That way, you jump in and you're like, oh, this is not really a good fit. So if you're watching these videos, it's a lot of me. And if you feel comfortable with this, the dialogue, the information that I share, then I think it's going to be a really awesome fit. And then there's worksheets too. That way you're getting the education, right? We're going over topics and subjects just like you would in a regular counseling session, where somebody may say, hey, I'm struggling with these type of anxiety thoughts. What should I do? Right? There's a common question in a counseling session. So then the therapist, the clinician, would start providing a lot of ideas and recommendations based off of their education, their knowledge, and all the years of experience, right? That makes sense. All of that I brought into the course. And then in addition to that, you have like all these worksheets. So worksheets are like homework, right? We're going old school here, back to K through 12. And the homeworks are really nice because, we know that without a doubt, you can have an awesome session, whether it's with your dentist, meeting up with your attorney, meeting up with whoever. And after that, life is waiting for you. Life is waiting for you. And life will present some awesome moments for you. Some beautiful moments. Life will present some challenges, some difficulties. And maybe from both sides, they will push that button of worry, of anxiety. And then that's where these worksheets come in to give you the tools that you need to move forward, to navigate, to address, any of those issues or challenges that you may have. So again, before you head off, I want to thank you for spending time with me. And the coupon code is Santos, SANTOS. That's 25% off from the anxiety course. Use the link below. You'll be able to get there. If you get stuck in any way, reach out to me, and then I'll be more to help you to lead you in the right direction. Take care. Have an amazing morning, day, whatever time it is where you're at. I hope that it is amazing.